1, 2, 3, 4. We're going
Checking
live.
connection. Oh, here we go.
I feel connected. Connected-y. It might be too much. I don't know if you can handle
System
it.
overload, man.
What's with the clothing, man? What's with the outfit,
Man.
Hey, why you keep checking their connection? Why aren't
Does it
you?
usually take this long?
No.
No. Maybe it doesn't want to behave.
It might only do one at a time because of the bandwidth.
Well, then in that case, they can fuck off and die.
You. Oh.
I forgot to put in the crystals.
I just unplugged mine, so maybe. Does that have good, does it receive
Yeah.
pretty good? Like, distance-wise?
I don't know. I'm going to shut one of these off and see if this one will do anything.
Cancel and re-go live again.
Cancel.
We go live, baby.
Oh, here we go. Should we try this one now? Let's try it one by one. Here we go. All right, let's start live videos everywhere. Oh, we're going live everywhere.
All
Oh,
right.
sweet.
So should we wait for people, you think?
I don't know. I don't have any friends.
I don't have friends either. Oh, we got somebody up. What's up?
It's Amanda from work. Hey.
Hi, Amanda from work.
And then, we got here. Sweet. We got some people.
All right.
So you guys are about to witness the first ever
We got 2.
People versus Paranormal podcast.
Now is the end.
Yeah, we're going to at least give it a shot.
Yeah, we have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
We don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to go for it. And
And that's it. So yeah, this is our podcast. This is People versus Paranormal.
we're going to try to look at both.
Yep, so bear with us. We got 2
We've got
accounts
one
running.
here. We've got one here. What up? I'm Sam.
I'm Ben.
Pleasure to meet you all, even though I probably know most of the people that are in there. What's up, Bethany? So, I guess we could probably talk about what we got going on soon.
Yeah.
We got some big things happening.
We do. Some things in the works.
Big things. We got some new equipment.
Yep.
We got what else we got? We got a bunch of good shit. Some new people, some new faces, some new places.
Upcoming web series.
An upcoming web series, a podcast, which you are here to witness the very first of.
Yep.
And we're ready to fucking blow minds. Can we swear on podcasts?
Fuck, why? Why not?
Well, fuck. Hey,
shit. Poop.
I don't know if that... yeah, poop. We'll go with it.
So why don't we kick this back a little bit, though, and
Yeah.
introduce ourselves and talk about the forming of our group, Pioneer Valley Paranormal.
My name is Benjamin Franklin. I invented electricity.
I am
and the
Thomas
Tesla
Jefferson.
coil
I stole electricity.
from me.
Yep.
So, so basically, how this all kind of came about is I bought a house in 2009, and in that house was an obscene amount of weird shit, and I just kept thinking people were breaking into my house. I had no idea. There was rustling around everywhere. Cabinets were always getting thrown open. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I'm running around my house at 3 o'clock in the morning in my underwear with a shotgun. Anybody coming around my house would be like, this dude is fucking insane, which I kind of am, but I wasn't imagining this. So I decided to go online and buy some basic ghost hunting equipment at the K2.
K2 EMF and I believe an Olympus recorder.
Yep. And I called Ben. Or right? No,
No,
we were discussing it over a tattoo.
Yeah,
weren't
that's
we?
how we met. I was tattooing you, and
Yeah.
you talked about this.
Yeah, and then we were like, let's set something up. So it was you, me, and Joe
Yep.
at my place, and we got just that first night alone.
It was
like,
crazy.
We got that shadow in the upper room at
Yep.
the top of the stairs.
Some EVPs, I think.
We did get EVP. The K2 was the one that really
Yep.
was setting it off. So at that point, I kind of knew, okay, so we're not fucking getting broken into here.
Mm.
There's just some crazy shit going on. And that's really where it kind of all fucking started.
Yep. We've done a lot of big places since then.
Yeah. And it's been what, 7 years? 8 years? I can't do basic math.
Yeah, a lot of years. This many.
You know, we're not really veterans, but you know, we're gonna.
We've been a few places.
We've been some places. We've seen some things. Oh, who we got on this one? Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Mary. I can't sing,
Oh,
so we're gonna.
Mary wants to see us. Hi.
Mary, if you go onto the Pioneer Valley Paranormal,
Instagram, you can see
Instagram.
better over there.
because we got that one right there, which is sitting against my guitar on a stand on a table. Because, you know, we're cool like that. That's how we roll.
So, Sam, was that your first encounter with a ghost or something paranormal?
No, it's been. I mean, I've seen some weird shit, but I always kind of whatever. My mother is a very spiritual woman. She's always seeing the dead and, you know, that stuff, which, of course, you can't tell most people that in you know, society today, because they're like, oh, you see dead people. Ooh, you fucking nutbag. And it's like,
Exactly.
you know, it's like, it's the truth. You know, it's a sad truth, but people can't be honest in today's society because they're afraid of what people think about them or what they're going to say. I say, fuck them.
Yep.
Fuck them. Hanson, hey, what up? Is that me? How you doing? So, yeah, you know, that's kind of, it's always been a thing for us, but what about you?
What about me? What? My first time?
Your first encounter.
Um,
What's your first time like?
Let me tell you about my first time. It was crazy. The house I grew up in was actually haunted by two women. And my mother used to tell stories how she'd wake up in the middle of the night and they'd be sitting on the edge of her bed and, like, try to talk to her and stuff. And I was always like, oh, my mom's crazy, blah, blah, blah. But I found out when I was older, my sister had just been born. So I was about maybe a year and a half, 2 years old, and my mom woke up to my sister in her crib crying, and my mom looked up, and there was a ghost over her shaking the crib. Woke up my sister. My mom went to grab my sister, and that's when she could smell the smoke. And they went downstairs, and the whole downstairs was on fire.
Jesus.
So my mom believes
That's
that
a
the
good ghost.
spirit woke up my sister so she would wake up all of us so we could get out. Like, we barely made it out there alive. But so they rebuilt the part of the house that burnt down, and a few times I would see things go by my room at night. And then one night, it was me and my friend. He lived up the street. There's this one little closet that, like, you had to pry it open with a screwdriver. Like, it was
Old house.
the old house,
Yeah.
exactly. And my whole life, I wondered what was in there because one of the doors to this room
The boogeyman.
was in my room. So we popped it open, and one of the ghosts was standing right there, and she just looked at us. And the two of us have never ran so fast in our lives, all the way up to his house. And
What about in Connecticut?
Connecticut?
Remember that hunt we did in
Oh,
Connecticut?
Okay, so at Bravo Restaurant, where I saw another full body, like, I have a special talent, it turns out. Like, if you've ever seen a cartoon where a character jumps up in the air and their feet wiggle wicked fast and they do that xylophone,
It's some animation.
I did that, and I was like, yo, camera, quick. And it turned out our DVR was not recording.
Nope.
None of our equipment was working. That place, it turns out they tore down. It's now a dollar
No.
store. It's sitting on top of that.
That sucks.
Yeah, because we were invited back, but then they sold.
That sucks. That place was nuts, man. It was totally weird. It was it was just totally weird. And there was apartments too, wasn't there?
It was actually a house in the late 1800s. They had a speakeasy in the basement during Prohibition, and then it became
And
a
everything
restaurant.
down there was still original, even when we were
the original
there.
bars and everything.
It was pretty cool. It was like all old school shit. It was just totally weird. All the old wood, all the original shit. It was weird. What we got?
Got anyone on that one? All right.
Who's over here?
We got Bethany and Mary.
Hello, Bethany. Hello, Mary. Singing you a song
Excuse me. We'll edit that out.
Not on video, because none of this video saves, though, does
No, thank God. Because I'm not wearing pants.
it? Well, me neither. I hope that's your leg touching me. No, I'm just kidding. Whoa, hey, whoa.
Oh, we're on video. Hey, guys.
Hey. So, yeah. What was that place called? Bruno's?
Bravos.
Bravos.
Yeah,
Something
we're in
like that.
Stafford Springs, Connecticut.
Yep. So anybody out there, if they had ever seen it, and the people that lived above too, they said that place was fucked.
They ended up moving out because of it.
Yeah.
It got worse and worse.
I wish, as far as I know, the house up the road from me here, where the book Satan's Harvest
Yeah.
was written, that house, I don't know if it's still there or not. I think it might be. I'll have to look into that. But people are still, or as far as like, I think 5-6 years ago, yeah, it was about the time there. Yeah, people were still moving in and then selling and leaving because it was like, no.
Well, they did the book, and I think they made a movie too, didn't they?
I don't know about the movie. I know the book, but I mean, some of the people that were in the book are still alive in town.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty.
Now, if you want to fill the listeners in, that's a quick little rundown of that place. Was something demonic there?
There. Now, don't quote me because I can't read. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Well, I can, but I have a very difficult time. But as the story goes, there was a demonic possession inside of the house. And if I remember correctly, which I could just reference it on the internet right now probably, but the guy had ended up doing a murder-suicide, killed his family and himself, I think. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, so I probably shouldn't even go about blabbing it. But, yeah. So there was definitely, like, demonic shit there. But even afterwards, they did... No. Correction, because I know this much. A priest from town went there to perform an exorcism. So he was possessed for a while. I don't know how long, but... Yeah, I don't know. I should probably learn my shit before I talk about it, huh? I mean, I live in the town. I lived here my whole life. In this town, anybody that lives here will tell you this town, Ware, Warren, West Warren, there's some weird shit that happens here. It's just an all-around weird...
I think one of the big
Yeah.
things is, like, Massachusetts in general. Like, it was the first part of the country. So we have the hundreds of years that this country's been around started here. So you got hundreds and hundreds of years of people being raised, dying, stuff happening, accidents. Whereas you go to like
Pooping themselves.
and pooping themselves just a little bit. But you go like out west, you know, the stuff's still relatively new in the span of the country.
Well,
so
that shit was pretty brutal.
Yeah,
you know,
the Wild
like,
West.
once it started moving out towards the west, you
got
know,
real gangsta out there.
yeah, they went borderline cray, which was, well, you know, it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, I don't know. That's Warren. I know there's still a lot of like buildings that stand in, even especially close to here. There's a house that George Washington lived in on, I think it's the corner of Southbridge Road and the road that goes to Sturbridge. Yeah, it's like it's right by the turn there. But that house was a house that George Washington actually lived in. Imagine living in that house. Be like, yo, I got this wooden tooth motherfucker who used to live here back in the day. I wonder if those would still be preserved.
It depends on if you varnished or not.
Do you think he really had wooden teeth though?
No, it's I guess been proven wrong.
Oh, would they like dig them up?
I don't know. I think they had technology back then to make teeth that worked out of other things.
Concrete?
Oh, like porcelain.
Imagine concrete though.
Uh,
You could
be
chew
like
up
a Bond
anything.
villain.
Hell yeah, you wouldn't be able to close your mouth. It'd be so heavy. No, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but we'll go with it. We could be not talking to anybody. It doesn't appear as though we have viewers or skewers.
Yep.
So we're gonna proceed on with some upcoming shit.
Yeah. We got some big things in the works. Some things we'll keep nameless for the time being because I don't want to jinx us before they get finalized. Because I hate to be like, oh, cool, we're doing the White House. And then
National
Trump calls up and
security.
says, hey, who said you could come over here?
You wanted to do the White House? You're wrong.
But so we got a golf course country club coming up soon. We have to go meet with the client within the next couple weeks. That's going to be kind of weird. I've never done anything like that.
Are we doing the course or the building?
The building, the country club.
Okay.
There's been claims of shadow figures and voices. We have what else is there? The theater we're working on, the Victory Theater.
Those would be cool.
Yeah, we have a visit the week of January 16th. Check it out. And then there was something else that's like.
And just for the record, we do try to avoid outdoor sections of
Yeah.
investigation unless there's something that's
Yeah.
worth checking out.
The
but
thing is there's so much that can contaminate evidence, like wind, animals, traffic, like every little thing.
toots.
Yeah, you need 100%, and that's what we need is the 100% proof that it's real.
Yeah.
So that's why we try to stay indoors, where these things are factored out a lot of times.
And it's funny too, because when we started this, it was kind of like we weren't really looking. I mean, yeah, obviously we were looking for ghosts, we were looking for the paranormal, but it's also, everybody's got the half glass or half a glass, whatever, the glass half full, half empty. You can look at it as we're either looking for ghosts or we're looking to what could cause noises. We're there to debunk
Yep.
stuff first. And if we get across things where it's like, okay, clearly we can't figure out what the hell is going on here, then there's a good
And
chance
a lot
that,
of times that's actually more reassuring for a client, especially like in personal homes.
Mhm.
If you could say that noise you hear at night is, your washing machine's kicking on by itself, instead of saying, oh, there's a demon in your closet. Have fun. See you later.
yeah, and it's funny because like a lot of the old houses, especially the wood settles, the pipes clank, the heater kicks on, and there's loud bangs and loud noises. But the second somebody goes and watches an episode of Ghost Adventures or something, they instantly think, my house might be haunted too. Which, hey, it could be, but
And I just got a link text to me from Bethany, my sister, about Satan's Harvest.
oh, thanks, Bethany.
That's a lot of reading. Oh,
You
the
didn't
book.
highlight anything, Bethany? No, that's okay. We'll
No,
figure
it's
it out.
about the book. It's a link to the book. It looks like written by. The entire case is documented in the book Satan's Harvest by Michael LaSalandra and Mark Miranda, with Maurice and Nancy Thuralt and Ed and Lorraine Warren. Which Ed and Lorraine Warren you might know from the movies The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2.
Boom.
They live in Connecticut, not too far from
Yeah.
here. And one of our members actually did a workshop with Lorraine. Charlene did one years ago.
Did she?
And I think she was actually when they went to the Lizzie Borden house, which if you haven't had a chance to check out the EVPs we have from there,
They were
they're pretty
fucking good.
terrifying.
They were pretty intense.
They're on our Facebook as well as our website, which at this time is probably pioneervalleyparanormal.com.
Yeah, I think so.
The Facebook is just like us, please.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, make sure you do the same with the Instagram. Maybe we'll do a MySpace or a live journal if you guys are lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed. Yeah, you're correct, Bethany. Ed is no longer with us, but so yeah. So let me ask you some questions, Sam.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Thus far, out of all the investigations you've done, which one has been your favorite?
Ooh,
I'm gonna put you on the spot. That's what I do.
the favorite.
The favorite.
I don't know. It's kind of tough because there was so I'll at least share my favorite moment from a ghost hunt because it was funny. It was hysterical. So we were filming in a graveyard. I believe it was in Holland, right? Wales. Okay, yeah. So we were in Wales and we were doing a graveyard out there. And we were one of our team members' fathers is buried in the cemetery, and we were walking by or close to around the area, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, something jumped out at us, and we just started booking it, and we didn't really know what the hell was going on until we turned around and realized it was a skunk. And so when we were filming, we decided what we wanted to do was we were going to make the pre-commercial cut scene us running and yelling, you know, like, holy shit, you know, and then all of a sudden we were going to reveal post-commercial that it was just a skunk. But
another
vault,
good part.
The vault that night.
Yeah.
It was that night that we did it, right?
It did, yes.
There was a flashlight.
Which is on both our Instagram and our Facebook and our YouTube channel, too.
Oh, we got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, we use mine for the time being.
Oh, okay.
But we'll get our own real one. Just look for us everywhere.
But just search it at Google and like everything that's connected to it.
But do you remember there was also another funny moment from that investigation when we were in the cemetery? It was, we were walking around, and we had our tech manager, Matt Davis, with us, and we're in the cemetery at like 3 a.m, and all of a sudden, a cop comes up behind us,
Pulling up.
and he comes out looking all pissed off, like any cop would be at going to a cemetery at 3 a.m, and he goes, "What are you guys doing here?" And we go, "Oh, we're ghost hunting." He goes, "Whoa, like on TV?" We're like, "Yeah." He goes,
well, he was giving us a rash of shit at first.
Yeah.
You know? He was like, "Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really?"
Yep.
But
then he found out that our tech guy was a Mason,
Yeah.
and he was also a Mason.
Yeah,
And then he
yeah.
just stopped. He goes, "I got some thermal in my car. Should I go grab it?" And this cop came out and hung out with us for like 10, 20 minutes.
he did. That was actually pretty
You know,
funny.
and I still got his email if we ever do anything in his town.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, hit me up, man. I'd love to get." You know, it went from "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, yeah, you're going something," to "Oh, email me. I'll go with you next time."
Yep.
You know, unfortunately, if you're listening, sir, we're sorry we never called you back.
We will.
But we will eventually. We had a little hiatus for a while.
That just brings up a point, too, I want to make to anyone looking into starting to do this. Don't ever trespass or break into a place.
Yeah, no, we get permission for every single place
Yep.
we go to. We get letters, you know,
Yep.
generally.
Yeah,
you know,
we
from
have our
people.
own liability forms. We have our own insurance. Like, we are, like, 100% legal on everything we do.
Yeah.
And if you break into a place, you get caught, that just ruins your name right there. So do
Yeah.
it the right way, guys.
Way better that
Yeah.
way. And people see that, like, you're not just some regular jack-offs coming off the street and like, "Oh, I want to go into this building," and it's like, you know, "We're going to ghost hunt." "Well, what do you have?" "A tape recorder." "We have a yak pack we'd like to go
Yeah.
with." It's like, you know, come on.
I got a talk boy from when I was a kid.
Yeah, you know, granted, listen, we understand, you know, if people want to get into this, it can be very expensive.
It can be.
It can be really expensive to get stuff. So by all means, you know, get what you can afford.
Yeah. They sell small starter kits online. You can
Oh, yeah.
get real cheap, you know.
That's how we started.
We
I
had 3
bought the
pieces of
starter kit.
equipment. It was
Yeah.
like $120 or something for those 3 pieces, maybe a little
Yeah,
more.
it was $125.
And like now we have a van full of stuff we bring.
Yeah.
You know, it's just every chance you get, you just add a little. You don't have to get everything at once.
Yep. Figure out what kind of stuff you're looking for, and some people might do the whole thing where you're gonna start with the most expensive thing and then work your way down to the cheapest thing. Yeah, that could work, but I mean, we kind of bought as we went.
Yep.
Really, I mean, I can't really say me because I'm broke as shit, and I can't really.
Hey, if it
afford
wasn't
all
for you, we
that
wouldn't
stuff.
be here.
Well, but still, you know, I thank my mom and dad. Thank you guys for doing it. So yeah, you know, what about yours? What do you got going?
Well, Bravos was fun just because that full body apparition I saw. Like, he was so real that I started talking to him to tell him he couldn't be there because we had permission to film. And then I realized, you know, nothing from the waist down. He was fake. Like, he wasn't there. He was,
Yeah,
but he wasn't.
Yeah.
But one of the funnest ones is probably about 5 years ago now, 6 years ago. Remember, we got contacted by Rock 102, big radio station in our name.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys are listening at home, you know, you always have like one or two big name radio stations that you listen to. One of our big name radio stations contacted us and wanted to set up an investigation for our crew with a host from
two of the DJs.
Yep. So we got invited to the radio station at night where we got to do some interviews and stuff. And then they sent Rebecca Wild from Rock 102 and a camera crew to a place we didn't even know where. They drove, like, we followed them, and it was a surprise when we got there.
There was another DJ that came, that other girl.
She was an intern, I think.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I couldn't quite remember her name.
And then they had their PR guy. He was the guy that was just sitting in the background watching us. And like, I thought it was a ghost at first.
Was he there?
Yeah, there's a picture. I'm like, there's a ghost in the background. Nope, just some sketchy dude.
It's the PR guy.
But so what it was is a old cement factory turned into a haunted house for Halloween, put on by a high school theater group. Mm-hmm. So a bunch of young kids, and just to spread the word, they're no longer around. But it was like the best haunted house I've been through.
They don't do it anymore?
No, that was their last year. They ended up selling all their stuff. They were like up there with like high-end amusement parks, like theatrics and everything.
The place was huge, and it really was.
When you went through, it took almost an hour to go through the whole thing.
It was cool.
And so we got a few things. That was still like in our infancy, but just the fact that we got to go to a radio station and hang out with like a local celebrity, and like, remember they followed me and you, and that time the air compressor went on, and Rebecca Wild jumped on my back and almost took me down into the concrete. But we got some good stuff. We had a spirit box session in the tunnel.
We did.
Where the voice came through. It was a man's voice saying, what was it? Bishop. And then again it said Gary Bishop. And when she saw the evidence, she freaked out because she had said that it was her father's name was Gary Bishop. Like, she doesn't use her real name, and that he was no longer with us. So, like, she was freaked out because no one knows that information, and this thing said it to her.
And they had that room with like the dolls,
the scary, where the stuffing was getting thrown.
Yeah, we have it on. Well, we had it on DVR, didn't we? Because we had cameras set up.
We had a handheld night shot. We didn't have the DVR system back then.
Oh, okay. So I knew there was something at least there, but yeah, we had walked through, and it was fine, and we were circling around. Now, mind you, this place is like a giant fucking gauntlet.
Yeah.
You know, like you can easily
it's like a
get
dungeon
lost
level of
in
a video game.
It
had all the secret passages to cut through rooms, so it was crazy.
Think of it this way, right? It was a warehouse. You know, it was a giant fucking warehouse. It was bigger than like a high school gym. You know, it was probably the size. It probably was pretty close to the size of a football field, anyways.
Yeah,
it was damn close. It's
odd. I'm just saying, did we lose?
Oh no, it's a screensaver.
Yeah, it was an old cement factory, so you got to figure all that shit.
Yeah, and that whole bottom floor was just.
And then they had the upper offices where you could look over.
That was cool. Actually, I'm pretty sure we have pictures.
Yeah, we got tons of photos left over from that.
Stuff. Again, go check us out on Facebook,
Instagram, YouTube,
and Match.com. No, I'm just kidding.
Plentyofghosts.com.
Plenty of ghosts, right? Let your spirit roam free. So yeah.
So that was a fun investigation.
That was pretty good. Do you remember the house we did right up the road from here? Popeye's house.
Oh, the farmhouse?
Yeah.
Yep.
That house was built in 17. I want to say it was at least the 1780s. I'm almost certain of it.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna pull this up. If you guys want to go to our Instagram page right now. Oh, I guess I was still recording there. I'm gonna cancel that one for a second. Oh.
While he's doing his thing, I do have some audio still on my computer from that, and we had gotten in their basement. They had, remember the jars? They used to pickle things all the time, and we got this incredible EVP of a voice just saying, because we asked, what did you do down here? What did you guys can? Peppers.
Yep.
Clear as fucking day, peppers. It was like, oh, son of a bitch.
Now, if you guys go to our Instagram page and scroll down towards the bottom, there is a photo of us in 2009 And look at that baby face Sam there.
Oh, look at those mutton chops.
Yeah, mutton chops, skinny as a twig.
No, come on.
Yeah, dude. You're like a house now, dude.
That's
Like,
depressing.
like if you came up to me now and said I'm gonna kill you, I'd piss my pants.
Well, I wouldn't.
Him
kill
back
him.
then, I'd be like, dude, I'll slap those mutton chops off your face.
Listen, I probably would have done it. Yeah, I don't. Man, oh man. I hope the spirits help me lose some weight. Because, possess me, give me some extra power so I can start losing some of it. Because, well, anywho. Yeah, that place was incredible.
Yeah.
That was cool. So also, the house in Spencer.
That is a big one for us.
That it was huge. We did a private residence in Spencer, and the description of everything that was going on in the house had us like, oh, we're fucking there.
Yeah.
We're going. We're gonna check this shit out. Now, we're all set up. We're doing our investigations. We're doing all this stuff, and we're all looking at each other like this. There's nothing here.
Felt
Like,
out of
it
place.
just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like there was any presence of anything there. It just felt
Yep.
like whatever. We
Very
were like,
discouraging.
it was, and we were like, well, you want to just pack up and go? Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, we weren't even there long, like maybe 3 hours.
Yeah,
If that.
yeah, just about. I think it was 3 hours, and there was children in there sleeping, while we were doing it, which is not ideal for us. We like to either have an empty house or, if people are going to be there, just you can be around. Just please don't be loud.
Yeah, we need to do our thing. And
Yeah, and we explain that before we even do an investigation too, so that people know going into it, what we want to do. Well, upon reviewing the evidence of that investigation,
it was about 5 minutes into our DVR, which you can see on our Instagram.
we
Again.
stumbled across some pretty gnarly shit. The EVPs too.
We'll start off with the lower end stuff.
Yeah.
This is the low stuff. We got some EVPs, intelligent responses, Class A. We asked what the child's name was. It said Benjamin.
Mhm.
Turns out, kid's name was. We didn't know their names beforehand.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We got some growling. And
Yeah,
then-
the growl I still have on here too.
Yep.
That's frightening. I mean, it's really, really.
The one that really got
doesn't
me.
sound good.
Towards the end of the night, if you remember, one of the kids, Benjamin, actually woke up. And we had to go get the homeowner and said, hey, the kid's awake. And he says, oh, the only thing that calms him down is a glass of warm milk.
Mhm.
And when we listen to the audio, as soon as you hear the kid start crying, you can hear the same old woman say, do you want some milk? And right there, we're like, okay. But
That was
that was our EVPs. Why don't you tell them what we got on video?
Well, we got two pieces of video evidence, if I remember correctly. Clear. I mean, it's almost frightening on how clear this figure was. Literally just standing over. I mean, it wasn't like how you and I look. It wasn't anything like that. But it was a clear mist in the shape of,
Yep.
torso, arms, legs.
Yep. You can make out the head. You can make out everything.
I mean, it was there, and it leaned over the child, and then stood back up again, and it was gone.
Yep.
But then, a couple minutes later,
Yep. Same kid.
same kid, the mist comes back, and it fucking pulled the blankets.
Right. You can
It,
see
like,
it lifts and
it
twists
lifts
and
it,
pulls,
yeah.
and there's no foot under there. It's not the child.
You could see both the kids' feet,
Yeah.
in the video, and that blanket just literally picked up, and it moved over, and we were like, what?
And right there is
The
a prime
fuck?
example of why you always go over evidence.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even want to look at that at first
No,
because we
didn't.
felt nothing.
Yeah.
And it is, to date, one of our best pieces of evidence.
Yeah,
We got a full body apparition. We got some object manipulation.
It was really, and it was too pretty much some of the clearest TVPs I think we've ever got.
Yeah.
We're from, I mean, alongside from Charlene's at the Lizzie Borden house, like that was
Yeah.
that was
Crazy.
intense. Yeah, that was good shit. We're hoping to get, significant amounts more.
Yeah. We've been in the process of contacting plenty of places throughout New England, mainly old rundown places, hospitals, asylums, mansions, theaters, different things like that. So the thing is, a lot of those are hard to get into because a lot of them are falling down. They're dangerous.
Asbestos.
They don't want to deal with it.
Lead,
So
all that
hopefully our
bullshit.
liability forms and our insurance will help say, hey, you know,
I have diabetes and mesothelioma from the same investigation. Yeah, we'll be calling Marky Salamo and 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. This is
tell
not
them
a sponsored
you mean
commercial.
business.
Wait, didn't that guy die?
Marky Salamone or the
No,
actor?
the fucking actor guy.
I hope not.
No, I'm pretty sure he did.
You know, William Shatner did one of those.
Yeah, but it wasn't Shitner. It
Yeah.
was the fucking
Yeah, the other guy that I thought was Marky Salamone.
you mean business.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not, as we say, with us
Maybe
anymore.
we can speak to him. I'll go down to the office that's like 2 blocks from my house.
Right? Is there anyone here? You mean business. He's here, guys. He fucking made it. He's here to say hi and that he means business.
Yep. So, if you can investigate any place right now, where would you investigate?
To be completely honest,
Yeah.
I want to go to fucking Spider Gates.
Really?
I do. Because anybody from Massachusetts knows the name
stories.
Spider Gates. It's
About 20 minutes from here, too, right?
it's right behind. Now, I can't. I almost feel bad saying it, but yeah, it's in the Leicester Worcester line. It's
Yeah.
behind the Leicester Airport. Very much no trespassing.
Yep, that is patrolled constantly by police, as far as I know.
Oh yeah, for a number of reasons. You know, the allure of the stories.
Oh, even the gates look crazy.
It's so Spider Gates. There's 8. There's 8. So there's a central thing. It's a family cemetery from the Quakers.
Yep.
And supposedly, I mean, you can go online and you can look up some of these stories from Spider Gates, and you know, this shit is serious. But no matter what, nobody's gonna let you in there. The family refuses to let anyone in there to check it out. Police have very specific orders. Also, there's been reports of like gang activity within, you know, the area too, because, you know, that's just what it is. But the way it's set up is there's a central area and there's 8 paths that branch from there, I believe.
Yep.
I think there's only like 1 gate though. I mean, I don't know because I've
Yeah.
never been there, but I'm pretty sure there's only 1 gate.
It's wrought iron, and it actually looks like 2 sets of spider webs
Right.
that join.
Yeah. But from stories that I've read and people that I know that have been there, I won't release any names, and the pictures, I mean, if my friends had told me that this shit happened, I'd never believe them. But because I saw these pictures with my own eyes, man, ever since I saw those pictures, I wanted to go. I was like, I need to go see this place, and
Yeah.
I need to experience this shit for myself because, like, I've never, no TV show or anything has ever had any type of evidence like I've seen in these pictures.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact they weren't fucking, you know, messed with. They were taken from a you know, disposable 35 millimeter camera out in the woods. Holy shit, man. I mean, clear as day. Figures. There's so our friend, oh, I almost said his name. We'll call him friend. So he was in the woods in the group, and they all had one person take a picture of all of them together. Mind you, now take this for what you will. Don't have to believe it. You can't, whatever. This certain individual was very atheist, didn't believe in anything, didn't want any part of religion, whereas there was a few other people who went who were, you know, believers of something, you know, who still experienced many things, you know. in this one particular picture, this group photo, this friend had, his face was fully distorted. I mean, it was like, he's a very narrow-faced individual. His face was squared out. He had 10 fingers on each hand. He was removed from the group at least 4 or 5 feet away from the nearest person. Behind him was a figure with a hand over his mouth and a hand over his stomach like this. I mean, it was like fully holding on to him, which was weird because it looked like there was rosary beads alongside of this person. Whether it was a person of religion or not is a whole nother story, but the figure behind him with his head showing behind him over his shoulder, I'm not bullshit, man, that was like the freakiest thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Because like literally he had multiple fingers, like 10 fingers on each hand. It was like doubled up. It was insane. Everybody else in that picture, fine. Nobody else had an issue. He was removed and had this figure behind him just like this. Fucking nuts. I need to find out if we can still get those pictures.
Yeah, we can blur out faces and.
Yeah. Well, his was.
Oh yeah, but that'd be cool to show all the listeners.
There's actually there was somebody in the stream earlier. I think it might have been on this one, who also witnessed these photos.
Oh, I think I know who you're speaking of.
Yeah, you did. And they, you know, I got plenty of people that will that will attest to the crazy shit that night. They even had, so in walking down this path also, there's no buildings. There's no, you know, it's just a cemetery, a couple of headstones,
and trees,
and a tree, you know, yeah.
Which there's a story about the tree, isn't there?
The
about the hanging tree.
Yep,
Yeah,
the hanging tree. As they were walking through, they had seen what appeared to be like a shed of sorts, you know, like a shed or a garage, you know, something like that. And they thought, well, that's fucking weird because, you know, nobody ever mentioned this garage before, the shed looking thing, you know. So they took a picture of it and, you know, continued on. Well, when the pictures were developed, there was no shed. But
some Evil Dead shit right there.
But there was a fucking window with a sill.
Just kind of chilling there?
Just chilling midair.
Wow.
Like, you know, it didn't look like, you know, a real window. It was a window in a sill. You could tell that there was a fucking window there. And it was like, again, this is a disposable camera. You know, at this point,
so there's no way to alter these photos.
No, there isn't. We didn't have fucking Photoshop or any of this shit when these pictures were taken, you know? I mean, we didn't even have cell phones, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was like, we didn't have that kind of technology then. I make it sound like this was fucking 30 years ago, but, you know, this is, 15, 14, probably 13 years ago anyways. You know, but holy Christ, man. So yeah, that's where I want to go. Long answer.
Yeah, no, long answers are good. That's why we get to learn about the place.
And if anybody else who's listening / viewing has some Spidergate stories, we'd love to hear them. Because, you know, any experiences that people have.
Hell, if you guys got any photos or videos you want us to take a look at, just upload them, tag us. You know, we'll gladly check them out. We love that shit.
And just so you know, we do have the technology to check and see if they're duped or not. So, be aware. We will find out. I will find you, and I will prove you. What about you?
Mine's a tie, because they're both in the same family pretty much, but Belchertown State School, and more so is Munson Developmental Center, or Munson State as the locals know it. Both were homes for the mentally and physically handicapped. My mother worked at the Belchertown one before they closed, and I remember hearing horror stories when I was younger. Both are closed now. I think MDC still has a few offices for like home care that they run out of there, but you know, same thing. A lot of these buildings, like on TV, you see these old buildings from like the 40s that are dilapidated. They're just rubble full of asbestos and spiders and who knows what else. Some of the buildings were newer, like 50s, 60s, 70s. I was working for a theater company doing sets and costumes, props, stuff like that. And the state had given us use of one of the buildings. It was one of the newer ones. We had the whole first floor, which if you walked in, you go down a hall to a cafeteria, which was our main workshop. It still had the place where you put on your tray and you'd slide it down. The big walk-in cooler is where we like stored all the wigs and stuff. But so it was a dream to be in this building for one, and two, to do it legally. Like I'm allowed in there. They said, come on in, So every night we did twice a week we were doing builds, and we'd always go at night, which was super creepy. Like the sun would be setting as we got there. It was summertime, I think. And I'd talk to Dave. His wife was one of the owners of the theater company. I'm like, yo, Dave, let us do a hunt here. And he's like, maybe at the end of the play, And long story short, we ended up not being able to practice anymore because the whole property got sold. So we had to move all our stuff out of there. But one day we're like, can we at least see the upstairs? And he's like, well, technically we're not supposed to, but we'll, let's go upstairs real quick. So he takes us up the creepy stairway that has like the chain link fence around everything. Like if you ever saw American Horror Story Asylum, that's what this place looked like. Like the first floor, all nice, newly painted. Some of it was renovated. You go upstairs, it's kind of creepy, totally gutted. There's no furniture, no nothing. We go up to the third floor where there's no power, and you're seeing wicker wheelchairs, old stretchers from like the 30s, ceiling tiles falling from the ceiling that are just shattered on the floor.
Looks like the beginning of a murder film.
Yeah, it looks horrible. Like it looks like if your nightmares had nightmares, this is the place it would be. And like we walked around there and it just smelled bad. You got a bad vibe. And we went around the corner to the long hallway, and there was a row of windows that looked out front. And they had about a dozen wicker wheelchairs up against the windows facing outwards. Creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like there was
wicker wheelchairs, a fat guy's enemy.
So I think it was the next build. I brought some equipment, and I'm like, "Oh, Dave, you mind if I go upstairs and show a couple people the upstairs and leave a recorder going?" So we went upstairs. We left the recorder going. We run downstairs. We worked for about an hour, maybe 2 hours that night. Go upstairs, grab the recorder, and then the drive home, I pop it in, hook it up to my car stereo. Weirdest thing, because there was, I think, 4 of us, all adults. There was 3 dudes and a chick, or 3 men and a lady. And you can hear us walk in, start the record. We start the recorder, we walk in, you hear us place it down. You hear us walk away, the door closes. About 5 minutes later, you just hear children start screaming, and what sounded like chains. And you're hearing doors open and close. I mean, it's not like constant. Like every so often, you'd hear like a little rattle or like a of a kid, and then like weird shit. So kind of creeps us out. Like, but to the point where like I have to do an investigation here now. So it was one night we're doing a build, and we're in the main lobby, and it was me and Joe, who was a former member of PvP, and we were in the main like cafeteria room, and there's a little hallway that goes to the stairwell, and there's like a door, the hallway, the stairs, and then doors. And we just hear a door open and slam shut. And we kind of look, it's about maybe like 15 feet away. So we look at it and look to each other like, oh, that's weird. Does it again. We peek around the corner, no one there. We go back, hear the door open and close again. Then you hear the doors upstairs open, and we're like, all right, it's Brian's messing with us. He was one of the main guys on the build. So we're looking at this door, and we're hearing all this banging, and there's a door behind us that goes straight outside, like to a little courtyard. Like that's the only way you can get there. So we're listening to the slam, and then the door behind us opens. And Brian walks in. He goes, "What the hell are you 2 guys doing in here?" And we're like, "Oh shit, that's not you." We're like, "Well, who else is here?" He's like, "It's the 3 of us." And so we looked at the hallway and we're like, "Hey, keep it down. We're trying to work." And it stopped.
See, all you gotta do is just let them know who's boss.
Yeah, just crazy though. Like,
I am the physical being. You are the ghost. Cut the shit.
And this is a building that's newer, so there's not a lot of like energy left behind from things that have passed or like bad things that have happened. It's got used for like 20, 30 years. The buildings behind this are the ones that are like
the old.
They've been around since like 1800s. Back when they were abusing these patients, doing electric shock therapy, Or
But they weren't really looked at as the most. They weren't looked at as they do with special needs people now.
Well,
you know?
if you look at the original name of Belchertown State School, it was the Belchertown State School for the Feeble-Minded.
Yeah.
That's what they would call it back then. And that right there should show you like how these people were cared for. It's there's a documentary, you can see it on YouTube. This guy from Belchertown, his parents didn't want him, so they just went up there one day with the kid and said, "Hey, he's not right, take him." And he lived there until he was like 50s when they got shut down. And he's like, I want to say 60s or 70s now, and he's perfectly fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with this guy. And he talks about the horror stories that he had seen there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to do a place like that.
We have to get some people that we know, because I know a lot of people that have worked there.
Yeah.
You know, that when it was functioning as, you know, a place, who retired there even,
Yeah.
you know, and they say the same shit. Yeah, the place is fucked.
Yeah.
Essentially, for lack of a better word, the place is uppercase fucked.
Yep, you always hear there's stuff watching you, stuff walking around, noises, like.
Yeah. People, places, and things within peoples and places and things.
Yep.
Which makes it that much better. I'm looking at the time here. What do we got?
I don't know.
Well, I know that it's we're nearing. It would say.
So we could probably do a little. We've been on for about a little less than an hour.
Well, less than an hour. I think. What do you think? Want to wrap up?
Yeah,
this,
let's wrap up
the
our first
one?
episode of People versus Paranormal.
I think this went very well. You
Yeah.
know, this is just a little bit of what's to come for us.
It's all trial and error on our side. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
No, no. And we're not going to pretend like we do.
No. So we're trying to line up some cool things for the show too.
Yeah. We're going to have people come in, talk about experiences.
Some hopefully some celebrity guests we're working on.
Yeah, we're not going to say who.
Because it probably won't happen. But fingers crossed.
Yeah, but it may not. Well, I'll dress up like a celebrity.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I'll pretend. I'll hit the gym. I'll redo my hair if I can grow some. And I'll pretend to be a certain individual who never used to believe in dogs.
All right. So if you guys want to help us out, we're always looking for places to investigate.
Yeah, send ideas.
We do not charge whatsoever.
Nope.
We don't believe in it. We actually give you presents. You'll get a DVD of all the evidence and a T-shirt.
A T-shirt if we find sufficient enough evidence. Because if you call us in to investigate,
If you're trying to get a free
if
T-shirt,
you're trying to get a T-shirt,
you can
just-
buy one off the website for $20 fucking bucks. All right.
Yeah, that's right. We fucking okay. We don't charge, so don't steal.
Yeah. Don't pirate our fucking merchandise.
Don't take from the poor and give to the rich.
And also, if you guys could like us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever else we do, spread
Pretty
the
much
word.
that
Yeah,
for
just
now.
you know.
Yeah, this is we've been doing this for a long time, but we're really trying to get it established at this point so we can make it something excellent.
Yep.
So hey, if you guys have made it this long for listening,
We thank you for
Thank you
joining
very
us on our
much.
first podcast.
yeah, and we'll catch you on the other side. Wait, was that not the right thing?
Oh
to
yeah,
say?
we should probably have a little send off, huh?
we need a send off.
Do any of our viewers have ideas? Do we have viewers left? Probably not.
This is our adventure. Our goal.
My name is Ben Ring. I never used to believe in podcasts until me and Sam were on one.
Ever since then, we've been trying to figure out what to say and capture it onto video.
Armed only with a bunch of Instagram live feeds and 2 microphones, we set forth to put onto audio what we once heard.
I got 2 turntables and a microphone. Is that copyright infringement?
Yeah. Oh, we gotta
Okay.
edit. Okay. edit
Well, that was
out.
in a different key.
We'll do that in post.
I got 2 things I got 2 lazy Susans and a recording device.
2 REM pods and an EVP.
Perfect.
Uh,
And with that, we thank you again for listening and to our shenanigans.
and so this has been Sam and Ben.
And
I'm Ben,
I'm Sam.
and this is People versus Paranormal.
Rest in peace.